So I'm in the middle of another video, but I've always wanted to tell this story because 'tis the season, you know. This character is easily one of the most well-kept secrets in the JoJo community, and it's wild because I've seen people making these like iceberg photos, but have yet to mention this. So I will. This was something that I had found searching in like Japanese forums when like wanting to learn more about JoJo back in 2016-ish, around that time. And I've been sitting on this since then because I wanted to try to find as much information as I could. And I also want to jump scare you because it's Halloween, but I won't. And if I do, I will tell you that I'm about to jump scare you. So if you like JoJo, I imagine you've heard of Heritage for the Future, right? If you haven't, Heritage for the Future, or well, there's also JoJo's Venture, and it's a JoJo fighting game made back in 1998, which is a totally normal year, and it hasn't been that long since then. So the roster consisted mainly of Stardust Crusaders characters, except for, you know, young Joseph. There were dupe characters in the game too, like New Kakyoin and Shadow Dio. New Kakyoin is the one, you know, from after the Unduel fight. He's got these glasses. And Shadow Dio is the only Dio that we really knew in Stardust Crusaders before he showed his whole new spicy outfit later on. But that's what's so interesting about this character, Ghost Jotaro. It's not even that Ghost Jotaro predates anything. It's the fact that this character has really never existed in anything. So no one knows as to why Jotaro would even need this form. There have only been a few screenshots of the character, you know, and it's only been triggered by getting access to the debug menu in some sort of way, or forcing an interaction that wasn't supposed to happen. I don't really, the translations was off, but yeah. While it can be a glitch, the character comes with their own dialogue. But the problem, you can get this, right? The problem is that the dialogue is only in ellipses, or an ellipse, the three dots, which means the character just stands there menacingly. It could have been an alternative story mode scenario because, you know, here's the thing. If you beat story mode with a character like Polnareff, right, it completely rewrites the canon. It doesn't do that for Kakyoin. You still die as Kakyoin, but for Polnareff and other characters, like, you know, rewrite the canon so that it works to the story mode. So this was possibly some take on what could have happened, and somehow Jotaro loses. I don't know what character that'd be for, but that's what happens. Now, that's not even the problem though, right? It's another unused sprite. No one cares, you know. There's a bunch of unused sprites. We'll find it sooner or later. But the issue is what the character does, and more so the news around it. See, since Street Fighter jump scare. I'm kidding, I'm a big fan. Since Street Fighter was the bigger IP for Capcom because like it's their baby, they had more developers working on Third Strike. So they had this small division created to work on JoJo. Some people who worked on the game were just never seen again. And we don't know how much of the game is the way that it is because of that. It's odd. Forcing Ghost Jotaro to appear supposedly just screws with your game a lot. In freezing and shutting down, that's not really as bad when you mess with unreleased stuff. It's expected for the most part for something like this. But the loud yell, like death yell of Jotaro when the character falls, and it's just amplified and slowed down with his portrait multiplied a bunch of times on the screen. And that's with a cutscene which shouldn't even have any battle features on it. And if you want to like see something weird, repeat this. So Yoshihiro Mizuhara, the person who was in charge of coding the characters and like I guess design, supposedly vanished after working on Ghost Jotaro. They were like the backline help to previous Capcom titles and have even worked on a Metroid game, like all the Nintendo shit. But they were forever done with video games after Jotaro. The character is odd, scary even, and we don't know much about them. And we probably never will. Was it somewhat of a scary story? Did it question how much you really knew about JoJo? Well, good. Because, like that fact or fiction show from way back, I made it up. It's all made up. Happy Halloween, jump scare.